Hey guys, this is the Fight Nerd, and joining me now is the Bellator Welterweight Champion, Ben Askren. Funky Ben Askren. Funky Ben, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you guys?
We're doing good. Now, I just want to talk first a little about wrestling. You just did some wrestling a few weeks ago in Pennsylvania, and you wrestled against your brother. So tell us how that was.
Yeah, it went really well. That was the first time Max and I ever wrestled in a competition. One of the camps wanted to pay us to do that, so we did it. It went really, really well. You check that out at flowwrestling.com or on my website, benaskren.net.
Who won that match?
I pulled out the victory, 4-3. Yeah, Big Brother's got to win.
I actually, first time I ever saw real wrestling was an event you did at the Intrepid, I believe it was last year.
Yeah.
That was the first time I ever saw live wrestling. It was pretty amazing stuff, especially to see you. I remember that fight. I think you kind of just came from behind, did like a 5-point throw and just killed the guy. So let's talk about wrestling in high school in general. I mean, that's a problem with sports programs these days. So what can we do to kind of push wrestling into the forefront in schools all over the world?
That's a tough question. Wow. I actually have a very long blog about that on Flow Wrestling. I typed it all up. It's like a 4-page thing on it. It's school by school. I think it's the coaches and administrators' job to do that and know how to promote their programs. And it's not really these days in college athletics. You don't have to be a team. You got to be like a business organization. Know how to represent yourself and promote yourself and do all that stuff. So everyone sees you as a valuable member of the community.
So check out Flow Wrestling, by the way, if you didn't get that before.
Yes.
Now let's talk about some Bellator stuff now. Coming up, you've got a contender now, Jay Haran. What are your thoughts on him?
I don't like Jay Haran very much.
Don't like him? What don't you like about him?
He just bothers me the way he talks, and he thinks very, very highly of himself. And after the last few fights he had, they were very closely contested, and somehow in his mind he didn't really see it that way. And I thought he should have been thankful to the judges, and he was just too sure of himself. So
you don't agree with a lot of those decisions that they made?
It could have went either way, really. That's how I see it. They were very, very close fights, and they could have went either way.
So what do you think about him as a fighter?
I don't think he's got enough tools in his bag to give me too many problems.
It's going to be an easy night for you, you're saying?
I don't know if it goes easy, but I know I'm going to get the job done.
All right. Is there anybody you're looking forward to facing off possibly this upcoming welterweight tournament?
No, they got a lot of great new people, definitely a lot of new people, and a few people from the old season. So I'm just interested. The way I look at it is like I don't have a favorite. Like there's 8 of them. Let them duke it out, and I'll deal with the one of them that comes out of it. And they all think they got a shot at me, but what they don't realize is that there's 8 of them. They got to beat each other up before they get to deal with me.
Is there anybody who stands out in your mind the most?
I was impressed with Rick Hahn last season, so I definitely would not be surprised if he came through the tournament and won it this season.
Someone we saw you fight a long time ago in Philly, I believe it was. You fought Lyman Good, and he's been out with a little injury sideline at the moment. What do you think about a rematch with him down the line?
Well, like I said, he's got to win the tournament, and that's a tough task. And every season it seems like it's getting harder. It seems like season 1 Lyman won, and there weren't that many competitors. And then season 2 when I fought, it was getting a little better. And then season 4 obviously was a lot tougher than season 2 because Hornbuckle lost in the first round. And then season 5 is looking like it's even tougher than season 4 was. So every single time, and the longer he waits, the harder it's going to get for him to get in there.
You two guys went to war in that fight that you had. Would you say that was the hardest fight you've had so far in your career?
Definitely. It was 5 rounds. I couldn't finish him. He's kind of tenacious. I took him down and mounted him off him, but I just couldn't finish him off.
You guys basically looked like Rocky Balboa and Apollo Creed by the end of it. It was crazy.
Yeah, definitely had some big puffy eyes. They went away, healed fast, and got back to working out.
All right, now let's talk some Twitter wars, because that's always fun stuff. Nate Marquardt, you know where I'm going with this already.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, any thoughts on Nate, and what's up with him?
I'm pretty indifferent with him now that he's decided he's not going to sign with Bellator. Obviously I was trying to taunt him into getting him into Bellator to fight with me, because that's one way I can build my name and my record and my reputation up, is by fighting people that are better than myself. He would fit that category at this point. So I really would have loved to get him into Bellator, but for whatever reason he's not interested. So I guess whatever, he can go do whatever he wants, and if he does decide to sign with Bellator down the road, I will be excited to see that happen.
Do you think he's not interested, or do you think that maybe the UFC is just going to bring him back in a little while?
That's a tough proposition for him to be banking on. I think maybe he thinks he's worth more than he is, and he's going to find that outside of Zuffa-owned properties, there isn't much besides Bellator. Zuffa owns Strikeforce and UFC. Then there's Bellator. Then after that, it's a bunch of smaller promotions. So maybe he thinks they're going to pay him a lot. Maybe they will. I'd be surprised though. But I think he'll probably come back to Bellator as long as Dana doesn't double take on his end of the deal.
Now, on the vague subject of UFC, super fight people want to see in UFC, GSP Anderson Silva. Super fight I want to see here in Bellator. Hector Lombard, Ben Askren. What would you think about that?
Yeah, there's a lot of 170s I got to take care of before I would ever fight Hector. Plus, he's a tough dude. I've trained with him before. He's very, very solid in all areas. He's strong in jiu-jitsu, great grappling background from the judo, and obviously you see him knock people out, so he's a hell of a striker. So at this point in my career, I'm gonna stick with the 170-pounders.
So one at a time.
Yeah, one at a time, exactly.
All right, well, Ben, what was that website again? Flow Wrestling?
Flow Wrestling, yeah.
How do you spell that? Let's do a plug.
FLOwrestling.com.
You don't go there, he will suplex you hard.
And it is the best wrestling website in the world.
I can vouch for that, even though I haven't been there yet, but I will vouch for him anyway. Ben, thanks for your time today.
No problem. Thanks a lot.